This week, it's Spooky Cast. Everybody's ready to get a little bit scared during this one. I'm here with all of my friends again. Hold on a second. I'm going to come up with... You guys talk for a second. I'm going to come up with spooky puns for all your names.
It'll be like...
It's like The Simpsons, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I got it.
James Hellbrooks.
I'm here with Spooky Conover.
Ooh. Spooky.
Say hello.
Hello. Oh, sorry.
And I'm here with Spooky Calhoun.
Ooh. I'm spooking.
And I'm here with Spooky Daramad. Whoa!
Hey, guys.
Josh, those were shit.
I think mine was worse than the rest.
I just didn't have enough time to come up with them.
Spooky Conver and Spooky Calhoun is not because of the cuss sound.
Mm-hmm.
Spooky Daramad?
Spooky I like Spooky Calhoun. That's a good one.
Spooky Calhoun. That's good.
So this week, it's the general cast, but it's spooky themed. So we're going to talk about how spooked we are by this new thing that is going on in the gaming media.
Oh no!
There's a conspiracy.
Oh man, every time Josh starts talking, I'm getting spooked.
They are paying and doing it to get articles written about their games.
Hey guys,
Have you guys heard about this? Oh. Have you heard about this?
Oh
I
no!
wonder how long these bits are gonna go.
It's called
this is the third cast in a row.
It's called Spookgate.
Josh, you can't fucking say Spookgate. That's just...
Why?
You can't say Spookgate.
Why?
I feel like that's a I don't know.
I don't think we're
wanna talk
supporting
about
Josh and his bit very well right now.
You're right.
What's wrong with Spookgate?
Spookgate.
You can't say that.
Why?
You can't say that,
You
Josh.
cannot say Spookgate.
It's like he that shall not be named.
Yeah,
Don't say
like, so,
Spookgate.
is it it's a racial term?
Oh, well, it is actually. That's what I'm saying.
I mean it like a...
Oh, is it?
No,
Yes.
spook can also refer to like a spy, like an FBI, CIA
I didn't know
agent.
spook could refer to anything except for spooky.
Woo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Except
know.
for
All right, so I guess I can start off my top 10 scariest media. I'm going to name all 10
whoa.
right now.
Oh, is this topic of the week? Topic of the week.
I personally have not seen almost any scary movies in my life.
Nice. Great stuff.
So I'm not going to have a lot to
rattle it
say
off.
here,
Ooh,
but I'm going to do my
rattle
best.
it off like your bones.
Number
do.
one, first, Goosebumps.
Wait, are these in order?
Yes.
Is this your number one? And
Number
you're gonna
one.
Go to least important?
Number one, Goosebumps.
You can't start a top 10 list with the best
That
thing.
way people just...
Number
they can
two.
Stop listening. It's fine.
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Ooh.
Wait, number one is Goosebumps and number two is Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Number three.
I think they should be the same number.
Number three.
Are You Afraid of the Dark is way scarier than
Number three, The Secret Life of Alex Mack.
What is that?
What?
Number four, Legends of the Hidden Temple.
That's a good one.
Number five,
Yeah, the white barracudas are always a little scary.
number five
Blue bear, I don't even know what they were.
is the Treehouse of Horror Simpsons episode.
Which one? There's like 25.
The first one.
Okay.
The one that started it all.
Number six is Resident Evil 1. Number seven is The Last of Us. Number eight
Seems spooky. Yeah. Okay.
is The Shining. Number nine is
The song number 9.
the song number 9 from the Beatles' White Album. And number 10 is Tales from the Crypt.
Nice.
So, what is this Alex Mack thing?
Yeah.
That's the only one I
Was it a Nick show?
It was a Nick
was the
show
thing.
where a guy,
What is it called? Secret
he
Life? of
drove
Alex Mack?
around in a truck and there was a giant bottle of goo that got thrown on him.
Oh my god!
And
I
then
remember that.
he turned into a goo, and that Flubber was the sequel to it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Prequel of Flubber.
See,
The show was the prequel to Flubber.
I'll tell you what I was surprised not to hear on your list was the eel from Mario 64.
Same. I was
Oh,
expecting that.
revamp of my list. Number 0 is the eel from Mario
That's where
64.
I thought you were going to put
See,
that too.
the eel is sort of like this omnipresent scare in Josh's life. So it went without saying. That's why it gets rank 0.
There's nothing more scary to me than being in water in video games, and that is because of that eel and every other game where they stick a scary fish in the water that comes to eat me when I sit in it too long.
Banjo and Kazooie. Or wait, but what if there's not a scary monster, but there's scary music like in Sonic when it's like dun, dun, dun,
Never
dun,
played Sonic or Banjo Kazooie.
I did just yesterday play a swimming area in Last of Us.
Yeah.
I was not expecting to see swimming in a recent game. I feel like people gave up on swimming. It just never.
People gave up.
They
on
really.
I agree.
Swimming feels horrible in every single video game. It's like it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But I was really scared during that swimming section because it was all murky.
And that's why they keep
Well,
putting them
I
in.
think you have because you have to sort of go underwater, like
Yeah,
do the
you have to go under the stick rubble.
yeah. And that's
That game overall actually has been like pretty scary.
So it was on Josh's list.
Number 6.
Yeah.
Next person's list. David, go.
okay. Are we seriously doing 10?
David spooked
I
me,
did 10.
man.
And then a 0 also. So.
Okay, I'm gonna do 5.
All right.
Okay. Number 5. I'll edit this out. It's okay. Number 5. The sound.
I feel like that's more joyful to me than spooky.
Is that what you do when
It's
you're happy?
joyful.
I remember when Keenan first got his job, he came home and he sat down on the couch and we all were looking at him because he was just laying down on the couch going,
He is so happy right
and
now.
we're
I was
like, what are you
wailing.
doing? And
Wailing.
he's like, I'm wailing, you guys. I'm so happy.
Jesus.
All right. Number 4. Courage the Cowardly Dog.
God.
Did you say a 5?
Yeah, that sound.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
sound.
that's
Oh,
the
sorry.
spooky sound.
Sorry, I
Good
forgot.
courage from me.
That was a gag. So I
I
forgot.
mean, we can do some
Yeah.
repetition.
Maybe a little more serious on this cast.
What?
Just a little more serious.
Are you saying my number 5 is not serious?
Be a little spooky.
Number 3 is the N64 sound chip.
Sound chip?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, every
the
every song.
every N64 game sounds scary because
Never noticed.
it.
Played a lot of those games too.
Including Glover. Glover doesn't sound scary.
Glover sounds.
Any game that has
sick.
like loud music sounds scary. Number 2, Amnesia, The Dark Descent,
spooky.
Yeah, that's
spooky game. And number 1, The Shining.
Pretty solid list.
The scariest of all.
It was on 2 lists so far.
I mean,
Also, I
Soon
want
to
to
be
say
3.
I've never seen it. I put it on my list.
I mean,
Never seen The Shining?
yeah, The Shining is my favorite movie of all time, and it is also the scariest
Oh
movie
my
I've ever
god,
seen.
we need to watch The Shining.
It was so scary just hearing about it.
So
I
That
mean,
made my
just
list.
the name, The Shine.
Oh, gives me chills.
Keenan, you want to hit it with your list? As long or short as you want.
okay, my top 99
Oh,
most scary things in ascending order.
God, I am ready to hear him.
Ooh, 99. Number 99, Juno. Definitely Juno. Oh, 98.
you got a lot.
I got a lot. I got to think a little bit before each one.
That shouldn't take too long.
It shouldn't take too long.
How many minutes is this cast?
Okay. I'm going to
99.
just try to throw a couple out real quick. Number 99, Juno. 98, when I walked outside and saw that my tire was flat. That was a big one. That time that David was in the kitchen with his headphones on, and he just got back from school, and I walked in and said nothing, and he just looked at me and went, "Shit." That wasn't particularly scary for me, but I think it
But
scared.
for David, it was.
It scared
That should be
David.
on Dave's list.
Yeah, that's probably number 6.
And I'll post the rest online. But I'll skip to like a top 5 for the sake of
Okay,
time.
make sure you fill the rest of them in, though.
This is the top 5 of his 99.
Yeah, this is the top 5 of my 99. Expect
If you guys want to hear the rest of the list, check out the blog.
expect the rest of it on Halloween. Actually,
Oh, there we go.
my top 99 scariest moments. But anyway, let's see. What would my top 5 be? I don't know. I haven't gotten to that.
Check the blog.
I haven't got to that. But I mean, I'll say some things that I have found extremely scary.
Can you number them, though? Just
Okay, sure. If I come up with 5, I'll just say my top 5.
Okay. Which number is this one?
This one's could be 5. Sure,
Okay.
this one's 5. This one is the Forest Temple in Ocarina of Time.
Man, that is a good one.
I would have said the sound chip in the 64 as well.
Yeah.
But the Forest Temple is the scariest game to me. The scariest part of that game.
Yeah, I'm curious. In my mind, there are two parts that's real. Or no, there's 3 things that really stick out in that temple that are scary to me. I want to hear what.
The fact that the songs are like backmasked, like the songs are backwards, super scary.
That's a good one. I didn't think of that
The
one.
Wall Masters, they just are scary.
The ghosts.
The Wall Masters are the guys the hands that fall from the ceiling and grab you.
Yeah, that is one of my.
I mean, the
that's
sound
funny.
when they go
Yeah,
and they
like,
grab you.
Yeah, that scared me so bad when I was a kid.
Just the general atmosphere of that temple is extremely scary.
That temple is way scarier than the Shadow Temple.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna rearrange this list real quick. Number 5, Shadow Temple.
Okay.
Number 4, no. Number 6, Shadow Temple. Number 5, Majora's Mask, and then number 4, Forest Temple. Zelda is very spooky.
Yeah, that's true.
I played all those games when I was really young for the first time, though, and so they really stuck of how scary they were. Number 3, Outlast is very scary. That game scared me really, really bad. So I'm just going to throw that game
You're
in
talking
the list.
about the one part of the Survivor.
The Survivor.
Just the Outlast sections of Survivor.
Yeah.
When, for example, if you like have to stand on a pole for days and days at a time,
Yeah.
to be able to get the luxury
Immunity.
item of a new bag of rice,
Yeah. Definitely. The new
the
bag.
Outlast portion.
For me, the spookiest Outlast was definitely the one where they had to stand in one place and hold a bow and arrow at firing position for hours. So number 3 is Survivor Outlast. Number 2 is the game Outlast. Very scary as well. And number 1 is when I was 7 and my parents went to bed on Halloween and I said, I'm going to watch Scream on TV. And I watched like 20 minutes of it and I was really scared and I went to bed. So that's the scariest. That's the spookiest.
Yeah.
Oh, and number 0 is Mr. Bones' Wild Ride. You guys will have to look that up. Mr. Bones' Wild Ride. It's a roller coaster tycoon map that somebody made where you the patrons get on and they can never get off. What about you, Steve? What's your scariest moments of your life? Top 99 if you got them.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to start. I don't know how many I'm going to say.
You can number them after you list them all.
Okay.
Go back and say them all
So
again.
first one is my dad gave me Nevermind, the Nirvana record, when I was like 10 maybe, for my birthday. And I listened to it. I had a portable CD player. I listened to it with headphones when I went to sleep. And I'd always fall asleep by the time the last song ended. Then there's that secret track. I don't even know what song it is. I can't remember.
It's called Endless Nameless.
And it would scare me so bad. I would be asleep at that point.
It's loud.
Hear something. It's really loud. But I would also put this on this list because, like, it scared me many times. I would forget about that track. Listen to that record. I'm like, I want to listen to Nirvana when I go to bed because it makes me, I don't know. It seems weird that I'd fall asleep listening to that record. But anyway, that secret track. That made me scared of secret tracks. Like, secret tracks in general are scary because I just leave CDs going on. And then...
Do you know about the Tool album that has a secret track on track 69?
Mm.
They just have, like, 60 tracks that are just 0 seconds long, and then it gets to 69.
Tool is a good band.
That's so yeah, that was definitely one of the scariest moments of my life. That happened consistently, probably 3 times a week for like 3 months.
Wow.
Second scariest thing, also music related, was I was maybe 13 or 14, and I had the CD of Kid A.
Okay.
My Radiohead.
Another secret track.
This is not a secret track.
They're all secret tracks.
I was. Someone told me, "Have you looked under the CD tray of that, like of the case, the jewel case?"
Secret CD.
So I broke open the jewel case to look under the CD tray, and there's another packet. There's another like a 10-page booklet in there of just like really scary drawings. I was in my room late at night looking at this. I didn't believe it. Someone was like,
"Yeah,
you haven't seen those drawings under the CD tray?"
That's so cool.
And it was really scary.
I can't believe they did that. That's awesome.
Yeah. You kind of need to break the case. Like,
wow.
I mean, you need to lift off the CD tray, which is not.
Wonder what they do when they reissue that album on vinyl.
Probably just put it in.
It's not
I mean, they could have done that whole. Didn't Jack White like put a 7-inch inside of a 12-inch? They do that.
Yeah.
They put it
It's
inside.
melted into the vinyl. You have to melt the vinyl to get to it.
But it's pretty creepy. It has a bunch of just like random phrases, and the Rat record in general, like the art style was like a combination of kind of like kid drawings of like the bear logo, and there's a bunch of like it was really creepy. I was really scared of that. Third, I played Eternal Darkness at my friend's house.
Wow.
And
that's a spooky game.
That game has like, I'm assuming you guys are familiar with that.
Yeah.
But it has like the insanity meter, and then
Yeah.
it messes with like it's like what you think is like it'll like make it look like your TV is messing up.
Right.
And that was the one that scared me because it just went to like video 2 or something.
Yeah, if I actually have one, it's that same kind of thing happening at the end of Metal Gear Solid 2. It scared me so bad.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
check the codec and like the
when Colonel's just like
yeah, and he's like go to Walmart or whatever.
Yeah, he's just like buy the game at Walmart. It's a Walmart ad.
Go to Walmart, buy Metal Gear Solid 3.
Scary. But anyway, so I was playing Eternal Darkness at my friend's house. He had never played it. I had never played it. It was late at night. We're like, let's try this out.
You guys didn't know that stuff.
I didn't know that was in the game.
See, that's why I feel like I can't play that game at this point because it's like,
I
know like the thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, when that happens, I'm like, especially on modern TVs, I'm like, oh,
this isn't the way this looks anymore.
Yeah. My monitor doesn't say video 2.
All I can say is I remember when we went to sleep, we slept like it was a sleepover. And we were all sleeping in the same room, like right by
kind of like what we do every night now, guys.
Yes.
We all just sleep in Josh's room every night. Yeah.
We had to unplug the TV in the GameCube.
Oh man!
Or I did at least. 'Cause I just.
You've told me other things where you had to.
And then in the middle
Yeah.
of the night, the disc tray was slowly opened, and I was like,
Yeah.
And there was a hook attached to it.
That was
and there was a hookah attached to it.
Yeah, I just smoked hookah. That was pretty nice.
Nice,
dude. And then we were,
It was pretty nice. Too.
and then we were in the true eternal darkness.
Eternal
Doing
Darkness and
hookah
nicotine
makes you blind, dude.
Well, dude, no, all the smoke in the room, you can't see.
Oh, black smoke.
Yeah, it was, it was like an opium den. It was like really hard to like.
Okay, so I've had that Nevermind secret track, the Kid A booklet, Eternal Darkness, Insanity Meter,
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm taking too long.
Oh, you're doing great.
Then-
Yours are the best.
Dave already mentioned Courage the Cowardly Dog, but there's one episode in particular which I never watched that show, but my sister and I were watching an episode.
Can I guess?
Yes. I mean, no.
Okay,
Just kidding.
fine.
Go ahead. Guess.
Okay, is it the haircutting episode?
I don't know what episode. Oh no, that is terrifying though.
Yeah.
I saw that like 2 years ago and it scared me. No, I don't remember what the episode is, but there's one scene where Courage opens a door.
Yeah.
There's a girl playing like violin or something, and she turns around and her face is like claymation, and like it's just like
Yes.
I
That
was
show's
so
use of different
scared.
animation styles makes it so scary.
Yeah, I actually watched like an analysis of Courage the Cowardly Dog that like it talks about that specifically because they use that like a few times at least. Like just changing the animation style is like inherently scary.
Yeah.
and that I mean, see, like claymation I think is kind of creepy
I,
Yeah,
because it's
totally.
so physical, like you can tell.
Yeah.
That show was like next level.
Yeah,
I can't.
totally.
Yeah, that show is crazy.
That show is like actually good. Like, but I think part of it is like, I was reading this thing for my politics of play class last week, and it was talking about like whenever you participate in media, like specifically with video games, but I think it can apply to other things. Like, you, there's like a power relationship between like the media and yourself. Like you have to subject yourself to the media, like to become a part of it. Like, you know, you can't just stay like that's the way engagement works, I guess, is like you sort of trust what you're watching or what
Yeah.
you're playing and like
that show puts you in like, okay, this is a 2D cartoon.
yeah, and then it betrays that trust like by changing up its animation style. So like
Which
if
is
you
so smart.
yeah, so if you subjected yourself to the show, like, yeah, I'm gonna like watch this and be engaged instead of just being like, you know, passively watching it with friends or something.
And like once
Once it betrays that trust,
it's like anything could happen.
yeah, it becomes very scary.
It could just step out into the real world at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it becomes very, especially with claymation because it's so real. It seems very. It has a very real world effect.
It was another like that and Eternal Darkness together in another event.
Yeah, I think that's also the same thing, or like not the same thing, but a similar.
Well, just
thing.
breaking the fourth wall, it just like sets you up to be like, oh my god.
Yeah.
anything can
And
happen
those
right
things
now.
were so scary to me and consistently made me afraid of my television and computer. Like I just didn't want electronics on because they would betray me again.
Oh wait, maybe I know what number one's gonna be.
Oh, yeah, I think you do. Anyway, so I'll go on. What have I said so far? Nirvana, Radiohead. I'm going to go through this every time I add something else to this list. Nirvana, Radiohead,
Eternal Darkness,
Eternal Darkness,
Cowardly
Curse
Dog.
Cowardly Dog.
Can we just say that's 5, 4, 3, 2, by the way?
Sure.
Sure, I
give,
guess.
give us
Whatever.
number one.
I think I
If
need
you do
to-
number one wrong, I'll fix it for you.
Okay.
I know. Like,
We'll do. I mean, we all have a number 0 at this point.
Okay. This is weird.
I didn't.
But this is, I think, legitimately
Okay.
one of like. I was really scared and really tense when this was happening. But I would say right like 10 to 15 minutes before the ending of Gone Home.
yeah,
I was terrified.
me too.
I don't know, like, I knew that game wasn't a horror game. But the mechanics just kept on making me feel that it was. And I was playing it, like, late at night, like 2 in the morning by myself in the dark. And I was, like, sweating and just, like, shaking. It was, like, a really stressful experience. Going into, I can whatever, it's not a spoiler. Just going into the attic, like, going up those stairs.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Just because I didn't feel like it was really leading to that.
I was so scared.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean, it was the most physical reaction I've had.
I was scared that she was gonna have killed herself.
Yeah, I was
and I was
assuming,
like, oh my god, this is gonna be so violent.
Well, the reason I was scared though, so okay, I guess at this point, but I thought I was going to see her hanging.
Yeah.
And I
my
was
thing
so
was, you
scared to
had
just
not seen
see
a
a
character
person.
model. You hadn't seen a character model in that game
That's
yet.
true.
And I was like, I don't know what
It
it's going to
could
look like.
anything.
Also, I was like,
That's
how
true.
long has her body been there? Is she like decomposing?
I thought you were gonna say, how long is her body?
Yeah, I
The
don't
people in this
know.
world could be 10 feet tall.
That's the twist.
But
They're
it's
all
like-
giants.
But it's like you haven't interacted with any person. Like you haven't seen.
Why did they build their houses so small? It's normal sized.
But yeah, I was-
And they also do the thing like because under the stairs there's like the demonic like
yeah.
you know whatever, and you're just like, what's going on? in
The
this
what?
house?
I'm not sure. I don't remember that.
You didn't go.
Oh wait, yeah. I remember that. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
Can
Ouija
I,
board.
can I give you your number one now?
Sure.
Number 0.
That time when your mom showed you that scare video?
Yep. that is it. That is what I was gonna say.
Screamer video.
So my mom calls me into her room, or like we had this like office, like where the computer was, and she's like, "Hey, your uncle just what is funny about that?"
That's funny.
Just kidding. So my what, Dave? So my mom's like, "Hey, your uncle sent me this video. We can win like a trip to Thailand." I think she said.
Jeez.
And she was like, "I just need your help. Like my eyes aren't very good. You need to spot the difference between these two photos." And I was looking at it, I was like, "I don't see anything different." She's like, "You need to get closer." She's like, "Get closer." She's like, and then I put my face, my nose is pretty much touching the screen.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Just keep on looking. Like if you can find this, we'll gotta go like to Thailand to see your uncle and all these things." And then
That is crazy.
Sort of messed
and
up
she
at that
had
point.
she had like the volume all the way up,
Was
And
there
then-
music or anything
like
in that video before?
no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It appears to be a picture.
I was like, "Oh, here's just a picture, or whatever." So I'm going really close, and then it's the girl from the Exorcist's face pops up
Oh, yeah.
and screams, and I fell over, and I just started crying, and I was so mad at my mom. Like I couldn't look her in the face for the next day or two, and I would also I would come home from school like around this time. Like, I don't know, this was only like 4th grade or something. I would go watch TV upstairs and walk to my room at night. And everyone would already be asleep generally. And I would have to walk by the room with a computer. And I would also need to, I like, seriously was so paranoid. I would need to go make sure the computer was turned off. I'd unplug it.
Wow.
And like, the door needed to be open. And then like, I just couldn't, then for like a year or something after, like, I just could not be around a computer at night. Like, it had to be turned off or unplugged.
It's crazy.
Thanks to my mom.
Your mom, dude, she ruined you for a little while.
I think I might have a number 0.
Okay.
So, or 2 number 0s.
Okay.
But they're related.
Getting into negative numbers now. This is kind of.
I've got a negative
This is
one.
becoming a
These
joke.
aren't real numbers anymore.
Yeah,
Just
this is
stop.
becoming stupid.
Yeah. But I was a Boy Scout, and I went to Scout Camp. So
This
there's
works because I was going. Wait, I think this is what you're going to say, and I was going to ask for the next topic, a near-death experience.
Oh, this is related. Yes. So I'll tell the first one isn't
Okay.
isn't a near-death experience. So I went with my friend Eli at the time to Scout Camp, and I have like something bad always happens to me when I go on like camping trips a lot. Like, and I think a lot of it is tied to I am pretty terrified of just like not having access to light. Like, I need to be able to know where a flashlight is, like, you know, when I'm in the tent or whatever. Like, I need to be able to have access to light, or else I just get like really sort of out of my mind. Anyways, so one night I go to the bathroom, like everyone's pretty much asleep. I go to the bathroom, and I guess this isn't very scary for me, but it's sort of a spooky story, and it's a very scary story for my friend who was like sharing a tent with me. And I don't know how long I'm gone really, but like I go to the bathroom, and this is easier if I tell it from his perspective. So he's asleep, and the next thing he hears is running outside, and then furious scratching at the tent, and me yelling, "There's gotta be a door, there's gotta be a door!" And being like, like asking for someone to turn on a light.
There's gotta be a door.
Yeah. And like I can't get in the tent. He finally like opens the tent, or like he turns on his flashlight, and his flashlight was like sort of faulty. So like he turns it on, and I like calm down, and then like, but it flickers, and I'm like turn it back on, and he's like, I'm sorry, like the flashlight's faulty or whatever. And then when it's finally like on, he's like, are you okay? Like what happened?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, dude, I'm fine. I had like this serious night terror.
Yeah.
Like where I was actually out of my mind. Like
that just made me realize what a scary character it would be in like a horror thing if you were like in the dark and you turn on the light and this crazy thing runs over and it's like obsessed with your light and it just like wants to be around your light, and you're like very, very scared of this crazy erratic creature.
Yeah,
so
a moth.
Like, yeah, it's like
I hate
a moth.
moths.
It's the Mothman Chronicles.
I hate them.
And if you shut off your light, then the guy's still there. You don't know what he is, but you can't see him, but maybe he won't be around you. There's something to this.
This reminds me of another moment, if I can describe it.
Yeah.
Hop in, dude.
I was playing. My cousin was who's in Denmark was visiting for the winter, and he was pretty young at that time. Like we had 10 or 11. I was like 14, 15, and I was playing. Well, I'm sorry, I'm really slow.
I'm sorry.
We were playing Resident Evil 4 for the Wii, and he was so terrified of the game. And, like that game was not scary to me at all. It's just, anyway,
I mean,
it just was fun. Like,
the last act where there's
the Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Those yeah. But anyway, so I turned off the Wii, and like there's that red light on the Wii, and he was convinced that was something from the game. He's like, that is the game. The game's doing that light.
Wow.
I was like, no, it's
the
not.
The game's doing that light.
And I was like, and he had a bed that was set up like in the living room.
Yeah.
Right by the TV, and he was like, I'm not going to bed until that light's gone. I'm like, don't worry about it. And he was really scared, and I said, like, I don't want to unplug the Wii, but I am going unplugging the Wii. Actually, no, sorry. He ends up falling asleep, and then I turn the Wii back on because I want to play some more Resident Evil 4. So I really like the game.
Then the light's green though, so he must feel a little better.
Well, he's yeah. So he's asleep at this point, and I was playing Resident Evil 4, and he just like he had never like really sleepwalked or anything before this, but he just stood up really fast, and then started scratching his nose, and I have never seen a person move anything, any part of their body this fast as his hand like scratching his nose. Like it was.
Justin does that when he's sleepwalking too.
I could not believe how fast he was moving, and it scared me so much. I had to like run out of the room. He just stood up, and then, I mean, it was just like I can't emphasize enough like how fast he was moving. It seemed not natural. Yeah. I couldn't believe it, and then, it was really scary.
Possessed, dude, by
Resident Evil
Las
4.
Plagas.
The red light.
And then he was like,
"This Las Plagas."
And then he was like, "What are you buying?"
It's just funny because like he was really scared of falling asleep, and I was like, not being that nice to him or sympathetic, being like, just don't worry about it. Then like he scared me really bad, and then I ran out of the room.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, in the honor of the Dia de
Los Muertos.
Dio de las Muertas.
Ooh,
Dio.
That's all the correct gendering, right?
No, Dia de los Muertos.
Dia de
Rainbow in the Dark.
Yeah. Dio has rocked for a long, long time.
Now it's time to pass the torch, though. Well, I mean, he's dead, actually. He passed the torch a while ago. Rest in peace, Dio.
So, yeah, now
Big
we're going to
fan.
do near-death experiences, and David, go ahead and
He's got
tell
a
your
near
other one.
Okay, so this is another Boy Scout camp story.
Nice.
Little tip out there. Don't go to Boy Scout camp. It's horrible. You will.
Too late for me.
it's too
God, I want
I'm
to
too
still
old
go.
now.
I guess I won't.
Too old to go.
Or maybe I don't know.
For all the
I'm not
little,
gonna say
for
don't
all the
go
little
camping.
boys out there listening to the cast,
So
if you're thinking about growing up and becoming a Boy Scout,
don't do it. If you're a Boy Scout right now, get out.
Yeah, quit. Quit.
But okay, so I was working on a badge. It was the Wilderness Survival Merit Badge. And one of the requirements was build a shelter and sleep in it for the night. So, and we had all day to work on the shelter.
simple enough.
All of one day to work on a shelter. People were working hard on theirs, like so hard on theirs. They had like, there was some permitted items you could use, like, you could use like fishing line. I might get a fishing line though. I don't know, but
I would have fishing line.
a knife.
I mean, if I'm allowed to use it, I'm gonna use it.
Yeah, a knife, like matches.
You could make a whole tent out of fishing line.
That's true.
Were you allowed to have?
Out of just fishing line? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Were you allowed to use lumber?
Yeah.
gonna-
Oh yeah. Just like and anything you can find in nature.
Oh, okay. You don't find lumber in nature. You find.
Find wood.
Are you allowed to use shingles? You should have built like a little house.
Can you use maybe like a 2x4?
Yeah.
Yeah, and a single 2x4.
Oh, one? That's not bad.
So I was like, okay, what am I gonna do for mine? Because everyone was using natural things in the terrain to make theirs work. Like, I'm gonna set up a little thing like next to a tree, or something like that. What I did, I was like, mind over matter. Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
I found
Good
this
idea.
log, and that was like in the ground, like halfway in the ground. I lifted up the log, and there was a perfect divot made in the dirt. And I was like, done. I
Wow.
was like, got some walls, and like, it was, so it wasn't very big. It was pretty small, but it was like barely big enough that if I laid down and then put like grass over me, it would like, I would be like pretty much touching the grass with my face, but like it would be over me. It was a quote unquote shelter.
Wow.
So I was like, it seriously took me all of 2 minutes to figure out this plan and implement it.
And stick to it.
And, I laid down some grass in there, and I was like, this is perfect. Can't wait for tonight. So the night comes. Uh-oh, hold on.
Oh my god.
We got a spook.
You're just
Okay.
telling.
We got a
Okay.
ghost coming in. So yeah, nighttime comes around, and I lay down. I had not laid down in it before this. I had not tested the waters.
Yeah.
Mistake.
Big mistake, because it's wet.
What time was it when you first tried laying down? Like,
It was probably 9 o'clock.
it was dark by this point.
Yeah, it was dark.
Dave was
It was
doing
dark.
this to get a badge.
A wilderness survival merit badge.
He had to build his own shelter, so
Yeah.
he didn't want to do that. So he did just go under a log.
It's not that I didn't want to do it. I was just like,
Oh, I figured it out.
yeah, I figured it out.
I'll
And
give
so,
you bonus points for being smarter about it.
Yeah, so
Dave, you're the best we've ever had. He just hid under a log and it worked.
I lay down. Of course it's wet.
Yeah.
And
I feel like that's so obvious.
yeah. Okay, I was so young when this happened.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
maybe not young enough for this sort of stupidity to occur.
Sure.
I think I was probably 13.
That's too old. That's
Probably.
All right.
But anyways, and we also couldn't have like flashlights or anything, which, like I said before, very scary to me. I do not like not having access to light. So, I I lay down and it's wet, and everyone else is like sort of falling asleep. Like everyone else
Their shelters work.
Yeah, everyone else is doing fine. I'm in my wet shelter, quote unquote shelter, and
they don't come and check on you.
No, so the merit badge counselor people were half a mile away. Okay, maybe not that far. Like a quarter mile away.
I feel like they should be there.
Sleeping in like hammocks. So, I start freaking out because like it's pretty obvious that like I probably can't sleep here, and like B, I'm hearing all these sounds and I don't have access to light, so I'm just freaking out. I'm like, what's out there? So I'm like, I just gotta get up. I gotta get up and walk around. So, and I get up in my wet clothes, walking around, and I had 2 friends who did this with me, and Scouts always like emphasize the buddy system. So I'm like, I'm gonna exploit this buddy system to have them stay awake with me, so like I'm not scared.
Yeah.
So I go to my first friend, and this Eli guy again, poor Eli. So I shake him awake. I'm like, Eli, I need to go to the bathroom. Like, you need to go with me. And he was just like, go in a bush. And I was like, okay.
You gave up immediately.
Yeah. And then he seemed a little bit angry that I woke him up. And then 10 minutes later, I go to my second friend, Chase, I need to go to the bathroom. And he didn't even wake up. Anyways, around this time, I don't remember what's going on because I have blacked out pretty much. Or not blacked out, but lost consciousness in some state.
You asleep or you?
Well, like I was standing, so Chase wakes up and he sees me. Luckily, so I did not go far. Chase sees me, and I have I'm not stuck, but my sleeve is just snagged on this sticker bush, and I'm sort of limp, and I'm just trying to shake myself free from this sticker bush,
So you're half awake but still standing?
I mean, I don't remember any of this. And Chase is like Eli, I think something's wrong with David. And, Eli, he couldn't take any more of my antics. So he's like, he's fine. He's probably fine. And then Chase was like, no, he's not. He's not fine. And so, the good friends they are, they take me into Chase's shelter, who had by far the best shelter. And, good scouts they are, they know how to deal with this. They take off my wet clothes, so my jacket, and I don't think they take off my pants, but they did take off my jacket. And they start warming me up, and they're calling to me, being like David, because I was
So
wasn't
you're
waking
in
up.
some form of cold.
Yeah, I have hypothermia.
No, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Everything you're saying is pretty much. Yeah. Having hypothermia.
Yeah. So I have I'm in hypothermic state, and so they're trying to shake me awake or trying to get something from me.
Yeah.
And I eventually say, this was their words. I say, it's the wassail. No, it's the tree. Yeah, that's it. And I go back and I go black again.
The wassail?
Yeah,
Like the test.
The test.
Standardized
Yeah, the
test.
Washington State test.
Okay.
Yeah, so just gibberish, And then a little bit later, this is where I do remember, coming to. They're on either side of me, warming me up.
Does that mean laying against you?
No,
Rubbing you?
yeah. Well, yeah, like Chase had
So it is rubbing you?
Chase had his sweatshirt over me and was like, yeah,
Is that what you're supposed to do?
yeah.
Rubbing?
I mean,
You gotta warm him up, dude.
doesn't that? How does that not make sense?
Well, I guess it does. Just didn't ever. I just
Isn't that
never
weird when your hands
think
are
about
cold?
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I guess.
So,
He just doesn't want anybody to rub.
like, you know,
I really don't want anybody to rub me.
you're gonna have one of those medical bracelets, but it's gonna say if I have hypothermia, don't rub me.
Do not rub.
Yeah, do not rub. Anyways, so I'm obviously very confused again. And I'm like, what is going on? And they're like, David, are you awake? And I'm like, yes. And then I fall back asleep and it's fine.
Wow.
Like, I have no idea at what
That's
point in the
like-
morning this is.
It's so bad that happened on a Boy Scout trip.
Yeah.
You could have died if those guys weren't good scouts.
But guess what? I got the merit badge.
I mean, you did survive.
failed.
All you had to do was survive. That's all you had to do.
That's true.
He didn't die. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't die. So, I mean, yeah, that was my big near-death experience.
Wow.
Spooky.
Does either of you guys have a good one?
I was on a boat traveling from an island outside Denmark to Denmark. It's a really fast. It's the fastest ferry in the world. Like
How
jet
fast?
ferry, really fast. I don't have any.
It's a jet ferry?
It has like 2 really big jets on it,
Wow.
Oh,
and
you weren't joking.
so we're.
Is it like 100 miles per hour?
It was probably. It was very fast.
No way.
It
100
did
miles
not.
per hour?
We did not.
I'll look it up. I don't know.
I was a boat.
It's like 40 max.
Hey, I wasn't the one who said 100.
I mean,
I just said it
5
might be.
knots an hour.
Fine, it was really
Oh,
fast.
I don't know how much an hour.
And there was a storm.
Like 5 knots is like 8 miles an hour.
okay.
Anyway, so there was a storm,
a lot of knots.
and we're going through the storm, and it's totally fine. But then one of the engines stops working, and the problem is the slower you are in a boat, the less stable the boat's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, like we were stopped or like going really slow at least, and I'm just like I'm with my grandmother, my cousins, my aunt, my uncle, my parents, my sister. We're sitting and we just feel the boat like tip, and then all these chairs and a couple people start rolling down, and there's windows, and the windows we just see water. Like it was
Whoa.
over to the point where there was water like
Wow.
that high up.
You could-
And then my grandmother was just like, "I love you," like bye, like saying that,
Oh
saying
my
that to all my little my cousins who were like 8 at the time. I was
and
like,
then she skipped you.
and she was like, "I don't care about you." No, but I was
Went
like,
long enough.
I was like maybe 4. No, I was like older, probably like 15. I wasn't 14. I was like 15. But like my cousins thought they were gonna die. My grandmother was not helping the situation.
Was
'Cause-
one of these cousins the shit cousin?
yes.
I just need
Yes.
to know.
This shit story with my cousin. I was just like sitting in like I was in France, sitting in like the living room of the house we were in. My cousin walks in, pulls off his diaper, looks at me, smiles, nods, squats, takes a shit, and then he was like 2 maybe at the time.
Yeah.
He knew what was
Yeah,
up
he
there.
knew what was happening. He knew he should not be shitting indoors. And then I'm looking at him and I'm just like, no. Yeah,
Check this out. Can you do this?
fine. Not into a toilet. And I said, he looks at it, he pulls back up his diaper, he looks so proud. And then he just starts crying, and he falls over, and he's just like, he just is so ashamed of the fact that he shit on the ground. And I was telling, the reason I told Andy this story was because like, to me it was so interesting seeing it. Like, he was 2, like he was really young. I hadn't really seen him display much emotion, but he felt shame.
Yeah.
Like the
he,
fact that
like,
being 2 years old, you could feel shame. Like,
right
seems kind of
before that,
extreme.
he didn't feel that.
He was like proud of it.
Like,
He's
once
I'm
it
my
had
own man.
happened.
I can take a shit whenever I want. And then he was just like, "Oh my god, like this is bad." And like,
He thought about what was gonna happen when somebody. He was like, "Fuck, man."
yeah, that's the
I
thing.
don't
It
have this extensive vocabulary. If he does, he's gonna tell them I shit on the floor. They're not gonna believe me when I tell them he shit on the floor.
and that was the thing was like, maybe he wasn't feeling shame, but he was more he knew he was gonna be punished, which is
Yeah.
different. Like,
How bad?
You knew there were
How bad did they
consequences.
punish
It
him?
wasn't so bad.
I mean, she. My aunt walked in, and he was like on the ground crying next to his shit. And she was just kind of like,
Oh.
Capital.
like, what's going on?
I would never be able to look at my kid the same. I'd be like, wow, you just fucking shit. Like,
I mean, she was like,
Capital
he
I'm
punishment.
got
not
his,
mad, I guess,
He got
like-
his diaper back on and everything.
yeah, he like, and the weird thing was like, he walked into the room, looked at me like as if he had walked in the room planning.
Yeah.
this. He's like, I'm gonna make sure Sebastian makes eye contact with me. I'm gonna pull it down
Also,
and take a
he's gonna
shit.
make eye
has
contact
to have a
all the way
witness.
Yeah.
down.
Man, it was so weird. I think I took a photo of it somewhere.
Wow, that is scary. Now
Yeah,
that's a spooky meatball.
So, unless anybody else has got any other spooky topics, I've just got a big spooky finale for us, and
Oh, hit us.
we can hear we out.
Well, yeah, just real quick,
Yeah.
I just want to say that fairy story is so scary.
Yeah, that's scary.
The idea of your grandma looking over at you and being
Well,
like,
I mean,
that's
she
one-
was-
she
was
I mean,
her
the,
dad.
the thing that really scared me was seeing the water.
yeah, that was what
Like-
scared me. Like,
Yeah.
and
That
it was
is
just
so
the thing, like
serious.
the fact that like it was like people were panicking, you know, and like
Yeah.
my cousins were so scared, and my uncle were trying their hardest to comfort them, be like, "We're totally fine, we're fine," and then my grandmother was there, just being like, "We're dead," and it was just it
Dude,
was horrible.
We were dead before the ship even sank.
Yeah. But the thing was, it would just like it would tilt and then like I don't know, just
Right.
like
Boats
every like
want to stay
30
up.
What?
Boats want to stay up if they're made right.
yeah.
Yeah, and it was more like just like you would. It was just the way it would go back and forth.
Yeah.
Was really scary because at a certain point it was getting further. Like it was tilting further, and then it just started leveling out.
And then you realized on the top level, people were just running back and forth, being like, "Let's see what
they're
we
like,
can
dude,
do."
these guys think they're gonna die. This is funny.
Dude.
Okay.
So as a special holiday treat for you guys, Halloween treat, everybody, you need to keep your mic. Everybody is going to perform their favorite Misfits spooky song
Which one's
right
I don't know
off
any
the top.
Misfits songs.
We're not going to talk about it.
I don't know any.
Okay. Just these skulls. Say, what's another one?
I'm not gonna help you with this joke.
Do die, my darling. Die, my darling. You know. You
Know 'em
don't.
all.
You don't need any help.
Which one are you doing, Josh?
Doesn't matter. We're all gonna kick into it.
Okay.
One,
Okay.
two. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I got
my
something
God.
to say. I killed my baby today. Come to me as long as he's dead. For your sake. One last caress. Point me to the sky above. I can get there on my own. Or point me to the graveyard. Dig up her bones. Mother, well, tell your children not to walk my way. Or tell your children not to hear my words. What they mean, what they say. Mother. Mother. I'm telling people in the dark for life. Oh, can you hide them from the waiting world? Oh, mother. Die, 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 my darling. Don't utter a single word. Die, 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 my darling. Just shut your pretty mouth.
You'll be there. Seeing you again.
Again.
I'll be seeing you
I'll be seeing you.
in hell. Yeah, we didn't do Astro Zombies.
I literally don't know what this was.
It's all right. We know them all.
We did the mash.